pasal akan beli jenis kepik
Oh betul.
Kepik senang.
Tak ada, selama ni aku dah minta like mic neck semua, kepit ke apa semua kan.
Sabar je lah.
Aku dah setahun lebih tu kan. Marah.
Alright, I'll speak in English. I think it's all inside here. Alright, this is our manifesto and 10-point policy, and the theme for this 10-point policy is wealth sharing for all Sarawakians. Wealth sharing for all Sarawakians. Alright, what happened is that, with the riches of Sarawak, we should be a state where there is no poor people. Okay. However, all this while the Barisan National policy only takes care of the handful cronies, while 90% of the population find it hard to even make ends meet. Despite the few populist policies announced by Adinan of late, he did not implement true reform and change in the system. It is still as usual for the rich BN cronies, while the general rakyat suffer under the ever-increasing cost of living. We DAP therefore propose this 10-point policy reform for real change. Okay, so it has been a slogan shouted by Barisan Nasional and also SPP, the so-called Sarawak for Sarawakians. Right, but there are a lot of notions of it, and looking at what Barisan Nasional's policy is about is Sarawak for a few Sarawakians only. Right, we want a Sarawak for all Sarawakians, not a few Sarawakians only. Okay, so therefore we came up with this wealth sharing for all Sarawakians. Okay, Sarawak for all Sarawakians, and the wealth of the state should be distributed and enjoyed by all, not by only a handful cronies. Okay, what are they? 10-point policy, I'll just roughly go through one by one. Alright, free bus services. Okay, free bus services. It's not, is overall, what we are proposing is that in Kuching, Sibu, Bintulu, Miri, all the 4 major towns, the government to take over all the private public bus service companies. Right, these bus companies are all running at a loss. So to acquire this and after that, to increase the the numbers by 3 times, and to increase the frequency by 3 times, to provide a efficient, regular, comfortable public bus. And most importantly, is to provide these buses for free. Alright, what are the costs? What are the costs? We have made the calculation, roughly 500 million to implement bus services in all these 4 major cities for the first year, including buying new buses. Okay, 500 million. It is an affordable program, viable program, given that Sarawak government has 27 billion reserve, an annual revenue of 5 to 6 billion. The benefit is huge for the office workers, commuters. They'll save at least 300 to 400, 300 to 350 in petrol costs, petrol and parking, and even car repairs, wear and tear expenses, for 300 to 400 at least every month. They will save, and this will be indirectly an increase in their disposable income. Alright, and for those newbies who just enter the workforce, graduated, you don't need to buy car. You don't need to buy car. And with that, you can save not only the petrol costs, parking fees, but also car loan repayment. Right, that will be a saving of 700-800 a month or 900 a month, depending on what car you buy. Alright, this will also reduce traffic jam. Why you need free services, free bus services? Because you need to change the commuting behavior of the people. Right? You need to change the commuting behavior of the people. Okay. Therefore, you need to provide substantial incentive, and this will be substantial incentive. After 5 years, you can the government can gradually increase the fee. Okay, that is number one. Free bus services is viable. After the 500 million, I think every year it will be about 100 over million. Less than that. To run these bus companies, less than 100 million to run these bus companies every year. These are the estimated expenses. Alright, job created also, there will be a huge impact. Number two, to revoke the unfelt timber concession of the Big Six and implement fair, transparent, sustainable forest management policy. Alright, why we need to break the monopoly of these Big Six? As you all know, the Big Six had timber concession covering 9.2 million acres of forests. Okay, that is 1/3 of Sarawak. Had 1/3 of Sarawak's land size is given to these Big Six to fell timber. You have to take it back. All right, and then that's for wealth sharing amongst the people. All the small downstream industry, all these they can opt to for small plots of timber concession, and then whereby the felled timber will be used for downstream industry. As we go along, okay, this is equitable sharing of forest resources. Sharing of land by all. Okay, NCR land, issue of titles according to the DAP and all this. Automatic renewal of land leases. You don't have to apply, just automatic renewal of land leases. That involve amendment of the land code. Land to the tiller, to give to farmers 20 to 30 acres of land instead of giving to cronies tens of thousands of acres of land and cheap sell state land. Okay, and also to take back the land, the undeveloped land that has been cheaply sold to this crony company. Right, we have exposed Wong King Win has exposed that in the last 2 years, Adinan has cheap sell 30,000 acres of state land to crony company at 300 per acre. Okay, that is ridiculous price. Okay, might as well give it to the rakyat, divide into 20-30 acre per plot. Okay, number 4, increase job creation, prohibit the export of timber log. Alright, so that we can encourage more timber downstream industry. Now, at present, under the Barisan National Policy, they allow export of timber logs. Therefore, I mean, it will be cheap money, quick money for all these Big Six. Okay, we have to ban export of timber logs. Alright, provide reduced foreign labor. Okay, this huge plantation company, they said local do not want, they pay peanuts, and therefore the local do not want to work. And they say, oh, because local do not want to work, they all engage foreign cheap labor. So these are, I think, this in one way is depriving and robbing the locals from their livelihood, of their livelihood. So if you have a policy to reduce foreign workers, then the companies, these big plantation companies, will have to be forced to employ local workers. All right, if they cannot, then surrender back the land that they have gotten from the government cheaply. Okay, and also provide land for SME, land and asset subsistence funding. Okay, youth entrepreneur fund for the youth. Number 5, to increase internet speed. And some of you are from West Malaysia. There is a difference between our internet speed. If you are from if you compare to outside Malaysia, it's even worse. Alright, one of the reasons is because of the monopoly of Sakofa over the telecommunication towers and the infrastructure. Alright, they are renting it at a very expensive price to the telco company, making it very not profitable. for them to go into even the rural area. So we have to break that monopoly. And the last I heard is that CMS is going to take over Sakofa. All right, another control, monopoly industry. Number 6 is to improve the security by setting out the IPCMC. Number 7, 7 is important, administrative transparency in governance. All right, to make it compulsory for public declaration of assets for all ministers, open tender for all government projects, introducing the Freedom of Information Act, where normal common citizens will have the right to information from the government. Number 8, fair multiracial civil service. Number 9, autonomy in taxation, whereby what we propose is that 20% oil royalty and 50% of all taxes collected in Sarawak to be returned to Sarawak government. Number 10, education autonomy. All right, whereby we advocate for the revival of the English education. The English medium schools, return of autonomy in education to the state, systematic allocation for all Chinese and mission schools, and true recognition of UEC. All right, autonomy in education, revival of the English education, English medium school. I think that is at the heart of every Sarawakian, and Adinan has talked about the importance of English, but he has done nothing in the education system, policy to revive to uplift the standard of English. Therefore, what we propose here is to revive it, and we even went further to propose that the state should spend money to establish private schools, but collect no fees from the students. Private schools, using the private schools license, you can run an English schools. You can run English schools using private school licenses. All right, like the lodge school, like the international school. Use private school licenses, but of course, private school is expensive. They have to charge expensive fee, and all those to be borne by the state government. Right, you can start with 20, 30, 40 schools, whereby you allow poor students to go in to study English, and they can come out, they can excel and compete internationally. I think these are policies that we advocate for. These are policies included in our 10-point policy for wealth sharing for all Sarawakians. All right. If you want me to comment this manifesto, the 10-point policy, they are all in very concise, concrete action. They are all in they are put in very concrete action plan. The minute you read, you know what we have to do. Unlike the BN manifesto, very general, ambiguous, very general, seems like cover everything, but in effect covering nothing. Right? It's just a general sweeping statement. Who has a copy? Okay, things like improving, enhancing enhancing peace, racial harmony. Everybody knows how to say that. All right, everybody knows how to say that, and that is in fact not a big problem in Sarawak. We have racial harmony. Right, you don't have to further enhance. Just stop UMNO and Najib and Zahid Hamidi to come in more often. All right, that will enhance, that will maintain our peace and harmony. Things like that, those manifestos are very general. It shows the lack of commitment of the government to commit in the manifesto, whereas ours are very specific, put in context, and well, if we win the elections, these are the policies that were put in place. Even if we do not win, but if we get a bigger majority of some of us won, some of us lost, those who won in the election will go in as assemblymen to advocate for all this. There are things like, protect Sarawak and people's rights. There's nothing. It's quite. It's nothing there. It's very general. All right. Protect Sarawak's peace and harmony. Protect Sarawak's culture, heritage and religion. All right. Our religion freedom. The right to convert out of Islam. Although High Court has a rule that is you have the rights, but the JPN is appealing against that judgment. Right, that itself is a challenge to the freedom of religion in Sarawak. And what has Adinan done to protect that freedom of religion? So those are whatever said as compare. We can make a comparison between our policy, our manifesto, and Barisan Manifesto. Theirs is very general and do not show. Therefore, it does not show any commitment. They can always argue their way out if they don't deliver. Ours are the ones that are put in concrete. Alright? OK， 这个我只是讲其他华语的我不讲啊，都大致上在这边，这是结尾的。如果我们比较我们的竞选宣言，好，我们这个10项的政策跟国政的竞选宣言来比较，你可以看得出我们的这10项政策是非常仔细的，就是列明很清楚的列明我们要做些什么，不像国政所推出的这个竞选宣言非常笼统，非常笼统的，就是一个很大的词句捍卫这个民主和谐这样的字眼，这种字眼就是表示说他们没有真的那个诚心和决心去落实他们的宣言。好，到时没有做到，很容易就可以用一些话来掩盖过他们没有去履行这个宣言。好，但是我们的这个都是好像免费巴士增加3倍，提供免费巴士，多少钱？这个多少钱呢？我们都已经讲出来。不过那个 action 要的就是增加3倍的巴士流量，数量以及免费。这个东西你有做就有做，没有做就没有做的了。所以好像这些打破沙洲6大财团的放牧制造的垄断这些你有没有做？就人民都知道的，一看就知道的。自动更新地契这一些都是设计很仔细、很详细的列出我们要做的是什么。所以我觉得我们这个是全沙人民共享沙洲资源，所以这个是我们的这个竞选宣言的主题因为我们认为长期以来沙洲资源经济机会和资源长期以来被一小撮朋党既得利益者所垄断，导致98%的沙洲人民生活就是壮一日吃一日是这样讲是就是有做就有的吃，没做就没得吃，生活辛苦。所以这个在沙劳越这种土地，这个地广人稀、天然资源丰富的州属，应该是全民富裕而没有穷人的。但是事实并非如此，只有几个超级富翁，但98%的人民却是生活在贫苦中。所以今天我们提出的这个是我们的竞选宣言，当然有各区不同的联。You have a face? You got? I think yours is nice. Never mind, it's okay lah. I think you come out. You can show the. Alright.
Show the dalam. You show outside. Then you put it there.
站起来了 ，stand up。
来。
I take the front.
You want someone like that? Nanti ya. Camera first. Live video. So this is well sharing for all Sarawakians, our manifesto.
Besar lagi besar besar lagi besar
What is it?
manifesto tu dah besar besar lagi
Design, this the design.
The theme. The big thing is that no need manifesto, but this is the theme. Well sharing for all Sarawakians. ubah for real change. Okay, alright.
Thank you very much.
Action again lah. Action lah.
YB duduk.
Ah.
Kita nak compare
6
gambar.
orang saja kok.
Pasal YB nak tunjuk pada rakyat ya. Yang dua di belakang. I show the photograph. No.
Very nice,
Nothing weird.
Today lah, better. Yeah.
You saw it.
That's right. Oh, very nice.
Wah, that
Siva,
YB
Siva.
must pay me 3,000 lah. One picture. For rakyat.
That's why I said, I saw you account and said,
Okay,
this time of course.
No. Just show. This time, direct only.
Direct.
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 Because you are for rakyat kan? Okay. I want to see the. Okay. You get closer as close as possible. I want to see. Tak apalah sekejap lah YB. Sakit.
No, bukan. Itu kipas.
Kipas.
Okay. Ready? Show. Okay, ready?
Beratur.
Yang belakang tu pun bersemangat sikit.
Semangat.
Ke depan sikit. You.
Someone show the back side, the bahasa.
Agak sikit lagi.
Bahasa orang yes.
Ni man, tak apa bahasa ke tak apa, yang penting tu. Okay, nampak. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, buat sama. Okay. Tak apa. Your eyes.
Look here. Everyone look here.
Okay.
Wait.
哇，这个 pose 很多人要拍。
Okay.
好吗？
还没有，这里还没有。没有啊。
中国包要。
中国包要。看这里。
没有头发乱的。
头发乱了，这拍照。
其他都笑到头发。OK， 好的。
OK。Right。
OK， 好，谢谢。
他头上太大了。
那个文告呢？我有文告。OK，any question？ 永山啊。
那个美国的他家里没有名字，他们没有上，可以回忆一下吗？
they still want to fight for defend the Batu Kitang seat, and they say that thank you for you all to willing to give up Batu Kitang.
We are not giving up Batu Kitang. No one say that we are giving up Batu Kitang.
It's a savior. Read out the statement. I just
No.
Yeah, I say that your DAP's willingness to withdraw the 145 shows that DAP is not serious about protesting.
Nobody said about that. I think in Batu Kitang, the feedback I have, I think we are leading and very close to defeating Barisan Nasional. Alright, we have gone there. This is the third day already visiting. Today, Aziz has went down to Batu Kitang with Binti Chieng. Who has the photo? After the show there. I think from the feedback on the ground, he's about 45% behind BN. Alright, another few days push, he will cross the 51%. Okay, that's 45% chance of beating BN. Huh? Never mind. I think let's leave PKR alone. Alright, let's leave PKR alone. Our battle here is against Barisan Nasional. Alright, as far as DAP is concerned, our battle here is against Barisan Nasional. Let's leave PKR alone. They can say whatever they want, but we will just ignore them. And I will call upon again the supporters. We are very close to defeating Barisan Nasional. In fact, according to the survey, we should be 55%, Barisan Nasional 45%. According to Merdeka survey, we should be leading when we started off the campaign. DAP 55% winning chance versus BN 45%. Overall in Batu Kitang seat. In Batu Kitang seat, but because of PKR, now we are 45%, BN 55%. But I believe with further push in the last few days, tomorrow we are having ceramah in the area. Tonight, close there, close by. Tomorrow we are having in this city mall is roughly the area. Alright, it's not exactly in Batu Kitang, but it is nearby. So the Batu Kitang, that area, it will help in the push. And every night we have small ceramahs in the kampongs, villages of the Batu Kitang. These are not done by other parties, but we are going full swing into it. I believe for the next 9 days, we can turn the tide around from 45% winning chance, increase it beyond 51%. So this is what we have said. We will work doubly hard, triply hard to defeat the Barisan Nasional in Batu Kitang. Alright, as for whatever said by PKR, we will just ignore it. Let's put PKR aside and concentrate the battle against Barisan Nasional. Okay? Alright, that is my answer.
Is it why you didn't come out with the joint manifesto?
A lot of other reasons. Alright, okay, a lot of other reasons. Never mind, it's okay. I think we have our joint manifesto come up. With this is what our party policies that we have presented to the people. Alright, I hope the people will accept this or will look upon it and consider this as what the party stand for. Alright?
So, can we expect a joint manifesto?
No, they have launched their manifesto, we have launched our manifesto. Alright, BN has launched their manifesto. Okay, alright. I think anything about PKR, let's ignore them. Alright, as far as I'm concerned, let's ignore it and let's concentrate the fight against Barisan Nasional.
But we just want to ask, let's say at the end of the result is BN win the seat 40% because of you split out 30%, 30%, then how?
Let that if happen, then we come to that one. But I think we can push the voters beyond 51%. Alright, beyond 51%, that is the first past the poll mark. Alright? Yes.
One allegation saying that DAP is trying to place a Malay candidate in a predominantly Chinese area just to test the water. So how to create?
Us placing a Malay candidate in a Chinese area. Okay. To answer that, I think if you look at Sarawak politics, all the 82 areas, which one area the Malay opposition candidate stand the best chance to win? Which one? You answer me. Alright? I think in Batu Kitang you stand the best chance. Okay? And do we want to see an opposition front where you have Chinese, Iban, Bidayu, Orang Ulu, and Malay? And that is why we make the decision to put a Malay candidate in a winnable seat, and we don't put Malay candidate we give the best chance so that we can have a chance to have a breakthrough whereby you will have a Malay adun from the opposition. But he will be able to raise a lot of issues concerning the abuses in Tabung Haji Fund, the abuses in Baituma, and the abuses of all these government policy concerning the Malay community, and do not run the risk of being twisted by PBB as a racial issue. So it will be a more overall check and balance than where you do not have a Malay opposition adun. That's why we put the Malay candidate in the area, in the Chinese area, and we call upon the Chinese voters in these areas, the Batu Kitang, to look beyond the race factor. We all want a country, a multiracial country. We are living in a multiracial country. We all want to be colorblind, race blind, religion blind. Alright? So to do that, all of us have to start from ourselves. And therefore, I call upon even the Chinese voters, especially in the Batu Kitang, let's vote Aziz in and create a new political landscape in Sarawak politics, in Dun. I think this is a time where we can create history, right? To have the first opposition, Adun, coming from the Malay community. Pardon? To what? Yes, yes. I think, yeah. All right.
So for some person that maybe there are some person that afterwards may have a free ride.
I can assure you, Barisan Nasional will not have a free ride in Batu Kitang. Okay, I can assure you. Barisan Nasional will not have a free ride in Batu Kitang. Today I went to 7 miles. Out of the 10 voters that I met, I think many are also from Batu Kitang, voting at Batu Kitang, and they are my voters previously from Kota Sentosa. And all of them that I approached, they said they will vote for Aziz. Very good response. Let's leave that alone first. We deal with Batu Kitang. All right.
So you won't,
I think.
So you won't launch any campaign against the PKR because yesterday Wu Xiangli said that they won't personally attack you or then you.
We'll just ignore PKR in our campaign and let's focus in beating the Barisan Nasional. All right. We have started off, I think, according to the survey, 55% against 45% Barisan Nasional. We had the upper hand, but because of this three-corner fight, we are 45%. The other way around. Now, this is a time where we have to work hard. All right.
Based on the 2011 election, there were some seats won by LSD. You had a
I don't have the figure. In 2011, is it? 2011. Yes, I think there are some danger in those seats. There are some dangers in those seats. The danger lies in whether the voters will come out in full force to vote, including my seat. All right, including my seat, Kota Sentosa. Although I won by a margin of 4,700. Okay, I have won by a margin of 4,700. Kota Sentosa is now a danger seat because 6,000 of my voters have been cut out. Masuk Batu Kitang. 6,000 plus. I saw an increase of army votes by 400. Alright, now it's 3,300 army votes. So if you look at it, look at the mere figure itself, it is a danger seat. So and other areas, there are some areas also there are danger seats. So we will call upon, appeal to the voters to come out in full force. Come out in full force and support the DAP. All right.
This one asked, right? So as all your 10 points
Yes.
the manifesto, if you categorize it under like maybe a few words, you think like will it be helpful all these 10 points to reduce the cost of living?
I think if you look at the heading of this manifesto, wealth sharing for all Sarawakians, I think this is to share the wealth. Once you have the wealth, I mean for all the people, once you have the wealth, your cost of living, of course, it will increase. You will reduce. You will take away the burden of the increasing cost of living. All right. Okay, this particularly, I think, to deal with the now ever increasing cost of living. Okay, any question? 我的文告呢？ Alright, just 我有一份华文的文告，关于阿迪南说没有这个 1NDB 的 issue， 不是骚扰乐的 issue 哦，那个写了，等一下你给他 永善不要紧，永善不要紧。等一下你 email 给他们，你给他们给他你们的 email address， 他会 email 给你们。Okay, I'll speak in English. Just to rebut Adnan Satem's allegation or claims that 1MDB is an issue not concerning Sarawak. That does not concern Sarawak. Alright? I think he is playing an ostrich mentality. He's playing an ostrich. Okay, to claim that 1MDB does not affect Sarawakians. Okay, 1MDB has caused a huge embarrassment to Malaysians, to all Malaysians. Resulting from it is that our Prime Minister has been target of international investigation. Alright, and more to it. Yesterday's default in the installment payment by 1MDB has caused a drop in the ringgit, value of the ringgit. Alright, so the recent, the last 3 months, the drop in the value of ringgit is also partly caused by the 1MDB crisis that has reduced public confidence or international confidence in the Malaysian financial system. So, and the other thing is, because of the debt repayment by 1MDB, who is paying the debt? Who is paying the debt? It may not be directly from the government, but it is from the sales of state land given cheaply to 1MDB. Alright, the state government, the federal government gave land in Tun Razak Exchange, gave land in the old army airport at a hugely discounted price to 1MDB, so that for them to sell it to earn an instant, enormous, astronomical profit. Alright, with that money. But those land and those profit are supposed to be the people's money, the Rakyat's money. So because of this wastage, channeling of public fund into the repayment of loan of 1MDB, our coffer runs dry, and therefore there is a need to implement GST, and GST affects all Sarawakians as much as it affects the West Malaysians. So all this, we are in one country, you cannot isolate such a mega scandals, financial scandals from Sarawak. Alright, so I call upon Adnan not to play ostrich, and not to make all Sarawakians ostrich, right? To think like an ostrich. Okay, I think as a leader, it should be more daring, more brave to take on this matter, rather than stick his head in the sand and pretend that 1MDB does not affect him. Okay, alright， 这个我加多一句，我的文告在这边不过我加多一句就是阿迪南的这种言论，很明显的就是显示他的那种鸵鸟心态，而且他也要全沙劳越人民也要跟他一样的有这种鸵鸟心态啊。其他的我在这边文稿里面有。OK， 谢谢你们。好嘞 ，Yes。What is it? EPL? Is Adnan not controlled by Najib? Alright, it doesn't matter who controls who, but at the end of the day, you look at the policy that is implemented. Surely somebody has to be a leader, higher in rank or lower in rank. In any organization, you have the Prime Minister, you have the ministers, you have the deputy ministers. Is Adnan a king? He is not. He is subject to federal policy. He can't run away from that. At the end of the day, you have to look at whether the policy that is implemented is good to the rakyat or bad for the rakyat, and not to say what policy where is the originate, where the policy or where the person originates. All right. I think the system we have to look at. So far now, what we can see is that Barisan Nasional policy is bad for the rakyat, make our lives harder, and Barisan Nasional is able to push through those policies because Sarawak Barisan Nasional. All right. Look at the policies of the different parties rather than look at where it originates. At the end of the day, their policies still originate from Najib. Okay, I think this Adina is trying to play a regionalism sentiment politics that is similar to racism politics, where in racism you look at the skin, the color of the skin, without looking at the merits of the matter. What Adina is saying is to look at the place of origin rather than the merits of the policies. All right? Okay? Is that clear? Thank you. Thank you.